Good evening. I'm Byron Scott with a CTV News update. The District of Columbia, Maryland, and Virginia are among the states pausing the rollout of the J&J vaccine. The move comes just hours after the FDA and CDC warned that 6 million of the nearly 7 million people who received the J&J vaccine in the U.S. developed a rare and severe type of blood clot. One of the people died, another was in critical condition. The 6 women were between the ages of 18 and 48 with symptoms occurring between 6 to 13 days after vaccination. The feds are issuing warnings to individuals and doctors as well.
The issue here with these types of blood clots is that if one administers the standard treatments that we as doctors have learned to give for blood clots, one can actually cause tremendous harm. Or the outcome can be fatal. So one needs to make sure that providers are aware that if they see people who have low blood platelets or if they see people who have blood clots, they need to inquire about a history of recent vaccination and then act accordingly in the diagnosis and management of those individuals.
Maryland health officials have ordered all providers to cancel appointments for the J&J until the federal government offers further guidance. And as the vaccine supply takes a hit due to the issues related to the J&J supply, here are the latest COVID numbers. The state of Maryland reported nearly 1,100 new cases since yesterday. 14 more people have died due to the coronavirus. The state's positivity rate is 5.53%. And here in Prince George's County, more than 80,000 residents in all have been diagnosed with COVID-19 since the pandemic began. Well, the nation's leaders honor slain police officer William Billy Evans at the Capitol Rotunda this morning. Evans, an 18-year Capitol Police veteran, was killed while on duty on April 2nd. Investigators say Noah Green drove his car into the north barricade of the Capitol complex where Evans and another officer were stationed. Green was shot and killed by police. With the Evans family in attendance, President Joe Biden and leaders of Congress honored the fallen officer.
I hope that with this tribute, the American people, too, will know and remember the truth. Logan and Abigail, no words are adequate. We can only imagine your sadness. But we hope it's a comfort to you that so many now know about your dad and know that he is a hero.
And I read this poem from R.G. Ingersoll, who said, "When will defies fear, when duty throws the gauntlet down to fate, when honor scorns compromise with death, this is heroism. Your son, your husband, your brother, your dad was a hero."
Evans leaves behind 2 children. He is the 6th Capitol Hill police officer to be killed in the line of duty. Well, the 2021 legislative session is over. Major police reforms are approved, but lawmakers failed to enact new climate change policy despite some setbacks. Senate President Bill Ferguson says he will continue to fight for Marylanders. During a virtual press conference, Ferguson addressed a number of issues, including sports betting legislation. Both chambers approved the measure on the last day of session. Ferguson says it was important to allow women and minority-owned businesses to compete in the sports betting marketplace.
I believe that this new system or the new framework that we sent over to the House today, it is a compromise. 30 licenses, even though it is a cap, it is a high cap. And I think, when people come down to really make the hard decision, do they want to make that investment in that license fee?
In other action from the last day of the session, lawmakers passed a bill to remove the governor from the parole process for individuals serving life sentences. The new policy requires 6 of 10 members of the Parole Commission to approve an inmate's release. Meantime, legislators did pass the Immigrants Rights bill. It bars contracts with immigration enforcement to hold undocumented persons in local jails. The governor calls it a sanctuary bill and says he will veto that measure. And you're watching CTV News. I'm Byron Scott. More news in just a bit.
You're looking at me in the future. Okay. Hi, Isaac.
Hi. Wait a second.
Do you know who I am?
Julia.
This is Jaina. Into the future. I just wanted to talk to you about what happened with those 2 girls.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember? It was was this girl that I was getting bullied by that one day at PE when they were like yelling at me, and then you just linked arms with me. I don't think you know how much like that helped me, because like I finally like knew that I had somebody. Because of you, Isaac, and what you did for me years ago, I grew up to be more independent and love myself and just be a little bit more confident.
Aw, I'm like a little tearing up right now. Just to see her in the future just blossom and look beautiful, and that was really amazing.
For the latest information on COVID-19 in Maryland, visit the State Health Department website. That's health.maryland.gov. Again, health.maryland.gov. Click the link to the COVID-19 information portal. There you'll find all the latest information about coronavirus. You'll find daily updates on cases and fatalities. Answers to questions about testing and the governor's stay-at-home order are available as well. For specific information about Prince George's, visit princegeorgescountymd.gov. That's princegeorgescountymd.gov. The site offers information about local services for residents and businesses. There's a link for COVID-19 relief donations. Also, food pantry locations are listed. And if you have any questions, call the county COVID-19 hotline at 301-883-6627. That's 301-883-6627.
A nationwide recall of hotspots is impacting the learning process in Prince George's County. Verizon has recalled 2.5 million ellipses hotspots due to fire risk. There are 5,000 of the devices in use by the Prince George's public school system. Families with the hotspots will be contacted by the school system, which is working with Verizon for replacement devices. Well, neonics can harm and kill bees, birds, and other pollinators. They also pose a serious threat to our food supply, human health, aquatic life, and wildlife. The consumer use of the pesticide additive has been banned in Maryland since the Pollinator Protection Act was passed back in 2016. But a loophole has allowed more than 100 retail stores to continue selling the products. Now a technical fix will tighten that loophole.
Pollinator populations have been devastated over the last 10 years or so. And one of the reasons is because a new kind of pesticide called a neonicotinoid was made its way onto the agricultural market almost 20 years ago, but it was allowed to be put into consumer products starting about 10 years ago. And these pesticides are unlike other kinds of pesticides because they're systemic, which means that if a plant is treated either as a coated seed or it's sprayed with the pesticide, it goes into every cell of the plant, and then it continues to poison year after year. And in woody structures like trees, it can have a half-life of 7 years. So every spring or every blooming cycle, the tree or bush or plant will put out very poisonous blooms, and then the bees and the butterflies and birds and so forth will be poisoned from that application that one time.
The legislation is now awaiting the governor's signature. Well, animal rights advocates are celebrating the passage of several reforms in the state. Maryland became the 6th state to ban the intentional release of balloons, the 5th to prohibit the use of animals in cosmetic testing, and the 8th in the nation to ban wildlife killing contests. Also this warning, some of the video in this story is graphic.
Banning these wildlife killing contests that your viewers have seen, at the beginning of session, we talked about how hunters go out and kill massive numbers of animals for prizes and then dump the carcasses. That has been banned. These mass releases of balloons that end up tangled, killing our wildlife, killing our waterfowl, those have been banned. And future testing on animals for cosmetics has also been banned. So 3 really tremendous victories that will improve the humane treatment of animals in a tremendous way. Are disappointed there were some really important reforms for our companion animals that did not advance this session. Probably the most frustrating one, a very simple bill that required shelter for dogs left outside in extreme weather. This is a bill that was generated from the tragic death of a dog in Baltimore County who froze to death in his backyard. We are disappointed that the legislature couldn't make time to get to that important reform, but we are very committed to bringing the bill back next year.
Other reforms that passed this session include bills that require education and training for animal control officers, stronger penalties for intentionally harming or killing a service animal, and providing for the veterinary care of retired law enforcement canines. And stay tuned, more news in just a bit.
There was a time in my life where I was extremely homesick. I decided that I needed a pet. When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. He jumped up and kissed me and jumped right into my arms. I immediately went up to the volunteers at the shelter and said, I want him, he's gotta come home with me. Now I'm anything but lonely. Every day with Turtle is a perfect day and keeps me company when I'm doing schoolwork. I like it when he jumps up on the table too. He is a veggie thief. He's an incredible companion and my best friend. Can't say that I've met anybody that doesn't love him too. When I adopted Turtle, I discovered all the things that make him unique. He's a little bit of a lot of things, but mostly he's all pure love.
I am what child hunger looks like in America. I am a 9-year-old boy who hopes a friend invites me to a sleepover so I can have dinner. I am a 15-year-old girl who goes for walks during lunch so my friends won't know I don't have anything to eat. I am a 13-year-old boy who gets into fights at school just because I'm hungry. I was created by artificial intelligence from faces of the 1 in 7 American children who struggle with hunger. Kids you pass by every day but never knew they were hungry.
Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
Welcome back. Maryland's High Court hears Riverdale Park's appeal in a bias case. The ruling said the town discriminated against a Palestinian-American towing company in awarding a contract. Riverdale Park says its decision to bypass Mahmoud Ashkar's firm in favor of the county's recommended list was a legitimate business decision and not based on race. Ashkar's attorney says the owner was called a racial slur as he applied for the contract and that the town did not want to award the business to someone of Arab descent. Ashkar was awarded more than $259,000 by the Prince George's Circuit Court. And looking to treat yourself and your curls is a new curly hair salon in Mount Rainier to check out. It's called the Nyan Company Salon. The organic product shop has been in the area since January but had its grand opening this past weekend. Nyan Company offers everything including cuts, coloring, styling, and facials. Nia Chamberlain is the owner.
I've been a stylist for many years, and I've also been a client for many years. And hearing all the things that people don't love about the hair salon experience, especially for naturals, we kind of took all those elements and we switched them around. We want to change the narrative, especially for women of color and minority women who haven't really found a place where they can go and have their hair styled, but also receive a high quality service.
For more information, go to nythestylist.com. Well, now your 3-day weather forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy with lows around 50 degrees. Wednesday, showers likely, highs around 65. Thursday, possible rain, highs in the mid-60s. And Friday, mostly cloudy skies with highs again in the 60s. And now for the community calendar, Montgomery County officials are inviting the public to attend a virtual mental health forum. Speakers will focus on equality, isolation, the digital divide, and the pandemic. Join in on that discussion Thursday, May 6th from 6 to 8 p.m. The event is free for residents, but registration is required. To sign up or for more information, go to montgomerycountymd.gov. And that's our news update for tonight. I'm Byron Scott. See you tomorrow night.